Welcome back, denizens of the Comic Book Dojo. JT McRoberts here with you once again, and today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, welcome to Comic-Jutsu, wherein we discuss the world of comic book fight scenes. We break them down, break down your favorite fighters, your favorite fight scenes, and we also keep our eyes on popular entertainment in all of its forms, both inside the major corporations and in outsider media, such as what one might refer to as independent comics or indie comics, with an X even sometimes, comics. So today, this is going to be a little bit of a free-form video, but I thought it would be fun to kind of take a look at some of the sights and sounds of the indie work out there. You know, sometimes in my journeys across the internet sphere, I like to just take a little snapshot of whatever's going on around us and try to find inspiration where I can, because there's a lot of great work out there being produced. And in other instances, if the work is maybe not so great, I still try to kind of look at it and see what I can take away from it and turn it into a bit of a teachable moment for myself. So let's take a look at some various sample covers and pages from various projects, Kickstarters, Indiegogos. Hopefully my words will come out for this. But without further ado, I know you're tired of looking at my lovely face there, so let's flip the camera around and let you see what I'm looking at here on the screen. There you see the lovely Comic-Jutsu YouTube channel, the central hub for all things Comic-Jutsu. And I've created a little folder full of cover designs, character designs, pages, splash pages, spreads, promo videos, all kinds of fun stuff that just kind of represent what I've seen in the world of independent comics over the past calendar year, essentially for 2023. Okay, starting up, we've got Ghost Agents. Now, I'm not going to be able to tell you where all of these come from. I mean, this isn't like a big advertisement for every other independent creator out there. It's just, let's look at this. Let's see, what can we glean from this? Is there an overall shape to this particular age of independent comics? If you're not familiar with ages of comics, before I start talking too much nonsense, I should probably get through more images here. But this is a nice little Ghost Agents cover or poster design. I'm not sure which it is. They probably had it offered as both. You can see this kind of Pam Grier inspired character there in front and center. So that's nice. Here we go. Here's Trigger Girl 6 by Jimmy Palmiotti. That cover art is by Amanda Connor. Now, I'm not certain if she does the interior artwork, but if I recall correctly, she did all of the artwork for this particular IP when it was a part of creator-owned Heroes, which I was a big fan of, but unfortunately it did not last very long. I think this is an opening page from Trigger Girl 6. I like the little homage to Action Comics down there with Superman. Very nice. Like I said, this is going to be very freeform. Okay, so speaking of superhero ages, there we see Superman, the genesis, the catalyst, the starting point for the golden age of superheroes. It was this optimistic, look forward, can-do attitude. If we all just work together, or if you just find the strength within yourself, you can do whatever you can think of. All things are possible. The American dream is yours if you just work hard enough for it. And we had this kind of explosion of those golden age superheroes. Superman. Just off track right away. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman came in and represented the film noir elements. Like I said, I'm going to be talking a lot of nonsense throughout this video. There's more Trigger Girl 6, you know, with the Flash and the eventual advent of Marvel Comics with the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man and the Hulk. Starting in 1961, we had the rise of the Silver Age that petered out in the early to mid 70s, and we took on a new, we began a new age known as the Dark Age, or as I call it, the Dark Age, or the Age of Shadows, or I've seen it most commonly referred to as the Bronze Age online. I have no idea what this piece is from. I've actually forgotten. I wish I could remember. It's a very, very nice little psychedelic piece there. This might be another Trigger Girl 6 page. I should have labeled all of these. Somebody might come across this and I am misnaming your actual book. Now I know that's for the Ghost Agents action figure that they had offered on their latest Kickstarter. Here's Cuckoo Valkyrie, a Gentrix of Ghost from Ghost Agents. That's a pretty nifty name. Nice coloring scheme there. Like that old throwback coloring approach there. It was like the old Ben-Day Dots approach. I'm not sure what this is from. This is a more recent page, and it is very suggestive. I'm just laughing at myself and these comments, because like I said, this is not going to be an ad for anything. I do give credit to people that come up with a little pitch video like this. This is always good stuff, and it helps push a project a lot further. So if you're thinking of a Kickstarter, you know, put a little effort into making a pitch video of some sort. Of course, you know, just having the majority or all of the work actually already done by the time one launches their crowdfunding, you know, that inspires confidence in potential backers. And anytime you can offer something like this that has a bit of production quality to it too, that can draw a lot of eyes as well. I'm trying to remember what this is from. Is this another Ghost Agents pitch video? I'm not certain. I'd like my comics a little bit more. Freddie Reno went missing. I like my comics a little bit more superheroic. So I like the costumes, you know, I like the mythologies, I like the archetypes, that sort of thing. Oh, this is the girl with the mega fists. I really like the look of this. It's kind of an American attempt at making a manga type character. And it's very classic manga-y. You know, the kick-ass fighter girl with the big breasts and the superpowers. I'd like to pick it up. It looks cool, though. Here's another one that looks interesting. Area 51, the Helix Project. It has a very cool little alternative comics look to it. Very psychedelic. I like the various masks coming off there, the serpent coming out. I mean, that's a pretty intense image there. I really like that. Indie comic books aren't meant to be this good. Anthony Pollock of Soda and Telepaths. You know, I can't always buy every single book that comes out in a crowdfunder. I mean, I just don't have the expendable cash for it, but I can pick and choose. And sometimes I'm like right on the verge of backing something, and you know, I have to just put those funds somewhere else. These are really nice pages. I mean, the coloring is nice. This is most likely a photostat background of some sort, or nowadays with, you know, just using Procreate or the iPad or, you know, some kind of computer digital resource, it's easy enough to pull in assets to put to use as your background. But this is good stuff, you know. Yeah, I wish I had all of these labeled. Darn it. I think this is Ghost Agents. This looks like Ghost Agents. Oh, this is nifty. I like this this costume on this guy. He's that typical Sky God, you know, Golden Age superhero, Superman type character. So once you understand the archetypes, it helps you identify when we have these kind of XP or analog of these classic archetypes and mythological heroes. You know, so we mentioned the Golden Age, the Silver Age. Then there is, of course, the Dark Age. I think this is the Helix project. The Dark Age, you know, started in the mid-70s. You know, the introduction of Wolverine, anti-hero type characters like Blade, the Punisher, that sort of stuff. You know, the dominant books of that era became the more adult and almost, you know, outsider comic-like stories of the Uncanny X-Men and Teen Titans. Then eventually, you know, everything changed with the publication of Daredevil, Wolverine, The Dark Knight Returns, The Watchmen, then Sandman. You know, everything kind of started to become more and more serious, more and more dark. Trigger Girl 6, really nice stuff. That's a Joseph Linsner cover there. I like that. Here she comes. You better watch your step. A whole bunch of that might have just been from Trigger Girl 6. Again, sorry if I don't correctly identify all of your pages here, but you know, I'm not trying to do a complete promo for every other indie comic in existence. We're just kind of flipping through and seeing what catches our eye. Like, I really like the costume design of Trigger Girl 6. It's nice, simple, iconographic. Artwork is solid. Has that kind of a, you know, Silver Sable, Black Cat appeal to it. Sunset Dawning. Sounds like a vampire-ish thingy. Story. Not sure which. Oh, that's Area 51, the Helix Project. Okay. So that's part of that. I've got some of the sample art. Okay, here's Rise. This is that superhero, the Superman analog that I was showing you there. You can see that he must have some type of tie to angelic origins. He's got like this triangular halo and the wings of fire. And this was one I almost backed. I need to go back and see if there are pre-orders available, or you know, just if they've got any extra stock left. Like this is really nice, showing the shadow under the water. It's showing the immense size. Pretty cool stuff. Nice little bird's eye view there, showing her setting. There's a nice 2-page spread that flows right across. Here we go. That's the closer shot of that Rise cover design. Pretty cool. Now that definitely looks angelic, and you have kind of these demonic or you know, disembodied spirit hands here all around the figure. It's pretty interesting. Excuse me while I clear my throat. Drinking from the Jack Kirby Silver Surfer Cup today. In case you can see that down there in the small box. I think this is more Ghost Agent stuff. You'll see a lot of Ben-Day dot style coloring here. I like the kind of monochromatic approach of that. It's good looking stuff. This is one that I did back, Ghost Agents and Metropolis. You know, I'm not a huge fan of people doing these kind of cash-in tie-ins of, you know, of public domain characters like the Steamboat Willie stuff or the stupid Winnie the Pooh slasher films and whatnot. But this seemed like kind of a cool premise. I mean, and it's old enough. You know, Metropolis is ancient. That project is like almost, it's got to be close to 100 years old now. And I was kind of curious as to how they would tie the Ghost Agents into it. I want to see how that turns out. There's more Ghost Agent stuff. Now this actually, I'm not sure. This might be more either Rise or the Helix Project. No, there's alien-looking dudes. This must be the Helix. Yeah, Area 51, which is a cool-looking series. I mean, it's good-looking stuff. Now here's somebody showing their process in Clip Studio Paint. Now this is sad that here we are with the rise of AI art, that we have to actually record our entire process of creating something just to prove that it's not AI art. So anyway, Nice little page work. The cat versus the wolf. That is Ghost Agents in Metropolis. There's a little promo video somebody shot of their comics. Tinseltown. What's that say? Blood Cream? Blood Realm. That does look like it says blood blood cream. I think that's an unfortunate effect there. It kind of obscures the lettering a little bit, but that one definitely says Blood Realm. There's Rise again. That's a really nifty cover design right there. Kind of the virgin version of it with no logo. This could be you. Now this is interesting. I always like it when Kickstarters have a little gimmick like, hey, we'll include you in the comic book, you know, put your face here or there. You know, if you pitch in a certain amount, you buy it. If you back at a certain tier. More good stuff. This might be Area 51 still. That is Rise again, like that nice black and white. This is solid stuff. It's not overly dynamic, but you know, it's good figure work. Now these are just cool looking concepts here. Really crazy panel work there. I like that. It has a very kind of Neil Adams flair to it, where the panels are all sorts of chaotic shapes. They break across one another. You know, it spreads across the full 2-page spread. And obviously this represents some kind of like mental war. Something's going on in somebody's head. It's got Warring Psyches. King of Spies by Mark Millar. You might say, why do I have Mark Millar in here with Indie Comics? Well, he is Indie Comics. I mean, Image still counts, you know. Mark Millar's Big Game. I know it's Miller. I say Millar. I don't care. Nemesis or Big Game. There, that's the Ghost Agents action figure. I'm not sure what you call them, 12-inch posable action figure, because they're not dolls, mind you, not dolls. That's a really nice graphic image there. I wonder if that's Area 51. There's Trigger Girl 6. Love that costume. I mean, they've definitely got the Black Widow vibe captured there. I wonder who did that cover. Sook. S-O-O-K is what it looks like. Sook. But very nice. Has feels like, you know, like it could be in Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. type thing. Here's another American attempt at manga. Superpower Girl with the huge bazongas. League of Maidens, The Awakening, free to play on Steam. Is that actually a game? I might have put that in there by mistake. That looks like Splinter. What is that? That might be a tie-in to a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something. This I don't know, but it's a kind of a cool looking little super team. Definitely got some heavy Scarlet Witch vibes up here, and you've got your giant character, and you've got Iron Man combined with what looks like Green Lantern there, and again the Sky God, Superman XP back there, and up front we've got the anti-hero Punisher / Batman / you know, whatever. Those dark heroes, the shadow heroes. You can see a lot of the typical archetypes there. Golden Age hero, Silver Age hero represented by the Iron Man, Green Lantern guy. Also the size changing. You know, the Silver Age was all about shifting perceptions, changing reality, that sort of stuff. It was the rise of the atomic age and all the questions that began with, you know, and space travel. It's just everything was about expansion and growing and learning. And like I said, I'm going to talk a lot of nonsense through this whole video, but I find it amusing to think about these things sometimes. And then we get up here to the Bronze / Dark Age / Shadow Age, whatever you want to call it. You know, sometimes I specifically call it the Shadow Age because that's the dominant archetype, you know, the typical shadow, the dark side. You know, the heroes that kill, so to speak. This is a nice little design for this. Nice picture. Very picturesque city there in the background. It's cool looking stuff. Wish I knew what those were from. Now there's actual what is it, ISOM number 2. I like that cover. That's a really cool cover. I almost backed ISOM 1, but the art samples, I was just like, I don't know. I just can't do it. It was just not quite where I thought it should be. But it looks like an interesting project, you know. What is this one from? I love the color design on this. Revere, Salem's Plot. Okay. By Lavelle and Basile. Very one of the more higher end projects, I'll say there. You know, no anime girls with big eyes and big breasts here, you know. Revere, Salem's Plot. It's Paul Revere versus vampires. That's a really cool kind of concept. I like that. It's almost like something that Steve Niles would do. Bossa Nova Baby. Lavelle, Basile, and Dukeshire. Part 2, 3. Okay, that's a little bit confusing. Crazy cover right there, but I dig the design. Has a pretty heavy metal feel to it, for lack of a better words. heavy metal. Sorry for that. Swarm. This looks interesting. I wonder why there's this drow here with this insect-like thri-kreen back behind there. No idea, but it's interesting looking. Very interesting looking. Not sure what that one was from. Now here we go. This one, I'm not sure about the colors on this one. They're a little bit too intense for my liking, maybe. Just a little bit. Now that one's a little bit more adult and suggestive as well. This looks like a fun one. This has a very Golden Age feel to it. You know, Captain Tempest. He looks like you know, any typical aviator pilot hero from you know, the World War setting. Castle of the Skylance. Fun looking stuff. But that's why I like to do these overviews and say, you know, is there one dominant sort of archetype that we're seeing through this, one dominant series of tropes that we're seeing represented across this swath of superheroes, you know, and I don't think it's that easy to pin down. I like the artwork here, just the very subtle use of color. This is almost like Alex Toth-like. I mean, this is really nicely designed here. I mean, that's very impressive. That's what I mean when I talk about I want to get inspired. I mean, the cartoonist that drew this, they put some nice life into this. This is really nice. Really nice. You can tell it's not just, you know, traced off 3D assets. I mean, there are obviously models at play here, but there's, you know, motion indicated, there's action throughout the entire frame, there's energy flowing back and forth, you've got depth of field from front to back. Here's more Captain Tempest. So the next age of superheroes beyond the Dark Age is what I commonly refer to as the Diamond Age. It was the age, which means a couple things, and this is where I get a bit more esoteric and stupid in my explanations, so to speak. Diamond, in that you know, Diamond was the dominant distributor for most of that time period, from the mid-90s through the 2010s, and also Diamond in terms of like the Zen concept of Diamond that has multiple endless possibilities inside it, and once one realizes the truth, that truth can be almost anything. And to me, that represents the freedom that was brought about by small publishers kind of breaking the stranglehold that both Marvel and DC had on comic books for years and years and years. That's interesting. Now, I really like this. This is kind of a tall man. I don't want to call it a pastiche, but it just reminds me of the Slender Man, modern fake myth, you know, which is really fun. But that's some nice looking artwork right there. Heavy manga influence. My Sexy Witch Academia. I think again these are American attempts to do riffs on the standard Japanese and manga tropes. So we see a little bit of that as one of the common. I don't want to call these tropes necessarily, just one of the common approaches that we're seeing. We're definitely seeing a lot more influence of the Japanese manga and anime, because at the end of the Dark Age, the rise of the Diamond Age, mid 90s, you have to think about the impact of things like Cartoon Network playing anime all the time. Throughout the 80s, we had the classic anime. We had things like Akira in the late 80s. We had Vampire Hunter D. All these things gave way to OVAs that were direct-to-video creations. They weren't necessarily made for the screen or the movie screen, the TV screen or the movie screen, but they were made to be video projects that one would rent for home video, and it was an entire industry. And we see Dragon Ball Z and Naruto and Pokemon, and just all of these heavy anime influences, starting in the mid 90s and going heavily into the 2000s and beyond. So there's an entire generation that just their preferred approach to the medium is Japanese. I mean, they don't even mess with American comics or even European comics. It's manga or nothing. Knights from Image, Wyatt Kennedy and Luigi Formasano. It's an interesting image, but again, the character design very, very plain. It just doesn't quite catch my eye, but that's a really nice spread right there. I like that. Well, I'm assuming if that's in a book, it's a spread, but just because of the dimensions of it, it might just be a promo. Accend, that's kind of a cool name. Like the various figures there, almost a Wildcats influence there, very Jim Lee. Vigilante's Creed, kind of a winged Bram Stoker's Dracula, hybrid vampire form there. Fun stuff. That looks like a fun book. Scrapper. Now, I have to say, this looks awesome, actually. Good Dog, Bad City. Scrapper. It reminds me of Chomps, the bionic dog. Now, you go way back if you actually know what that means. But anyway, it looks like Rocket Raccoon down there. So this looks like a fun little story. I like the look of that. So the Diamond Age really represented just the rise of the independence, where we are now with the powers of crowdfunding, Kickstarters, Indiegogos, Fund My Comic. All of these things, they were made possible by Image breaking the stranglehold of Marvel and DC and making smaller publishers viable. I mean, we always had things like Fantagraphics that kind of endured over the decades, but a lot of really good publishers rose and fell. Comico, First Comics, so on and so forth. I mean, First Comics produced some really, really quality works, but they just didn't count their beans correctly behind the scenes. Dark Horse Comics kind of quietly survived through the decades and became its own kind of alternative. But it's really Image that said, hey, hot books. We sell hot books. We sell books that are in demand. They're not just the alternative. It's not just, I want these because they're not Marvel, they're not DC, they're not superhero cape stuff. That's generally what the people that don't like superhero stuff, they call it cape crap, cape stuff. There's more to comics than just cape stuff. The girl with the mega fists again. This one I'm not sure of. I like the look of this. I think this is back from the Helix Project again, but I might be mistaken. I'm misnaming something, but this looks like a fun little series. Cthulhu Detective. Hopefully we'll get to the cover here in a minute. Takio by Bendis and Oming, from the creators of Miles Morales. Okay, costumes, looks like a kid's book. Okay, I'm not totally against it. I would pick it up if I saw it on the shelf. Hey, there have been 10 years already. Old Man Senketsu. atomic kid with the A. Now this is a definite trope of this era, is having the superhero kid or the teen kid just kind of like wearing street clothes and the hoodie. That, to me, that's definitely a played out trope. Now I'm not trying to say anything about this particular project, mind you. I'm just making note that there's a whole lot of teen heroes that wear just regular street clothes. And in one way, I mean, maybe that makes it palatable to a younger audience, where they're not wearing, goofy, kind of creepy tights and improbable costumes. I like the design of this robot here in the background. That must be the bad guy because of the way that it's looming over the entire image, even looming over the city. So that's pretty cool. I like that. That's a good design. This is more of Ghost Agents in Metropolis. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, America, 1988. I think this is just a fan goof right here. I thought this was really funny. I probably shouldn't have put it in here. So it has Snake Plissken, Mr. T, Doc Brown from Back to the Future, MacGyver. You can tell that because he's got the pocket knife there. And then Lisa from Weird Science. So what a nutty concept, but that's just fun just to think about, To me, I mean, that's okay. That's fun. It's one image. It's not somebody saying, hey, I'm going to do a 100-page story with all these characters that I don't own. I mean, that while those kind of things, they might seem fun initially, they're usually just misguided and not very good. So that was fun stuff. What is this? I think this is another Ghost Agents thing here. Like the coloring on it. That's the Ghost Agents figure. I did back that, so I'm waiting for that book to come. I think it'll be a few more months. I looked at the early Cyberfrog stuff, but to be honest with you, just the kind of the anthropomorphic frog thing just didn't really appeal to me. I do like that it's, kind of high science fiction in its concept and whatnot, but again, I tend more towards the mythical and archetypal in my storytelling preferences. Area 51. This is a really nice design, like the puzzle here. So this guy must be some kind of like human alien hybrid. Look at how much storytelling is just in that one cover image. The second revealed the identity of the mysterious M and brought him face to face with the man who took everything from him, forcing Kent to make a decision that would reverberate through the rest of his life. That's cool. Kind of a wordy one line there, but gets the point across. But that cover art is really nice. Really, really nice. I almost backed that series, but I pulled out at the last minute. There's Ghost Agents again. That's a really nice. Owes a lot to Steranko's Nick Fury and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. there. This looks like Rise again. That's a very typical kind of Superman Sky God thing, using super speed and whatnot. Darkness concept. I like this artwork. It has a very John Bolton feel to it. This painted approach, very nice looking. I wonder who the model is for this female character there. I don't know. It's good looking stuff. Alley Cat 2.0. Can't tell if it's for kids or if it's more grown-up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle-y. He never dreamed he'd be chosen to succeed his lifelong hero. But is he ready for the truth? American Dreams. That's a really nice Superman, Golden Age Sky God archetypal hero. Looks good. Now, mind you, there's more to it than just the look. The question is, what is the story? Does it use the mythology at all? The power of the mythology, the power of the archetype behind it. That kind of the all-powerful emperor figure that watches over from his throne. Armored. I like this. This is it's a Jay Lee cover. Okay, I was about to say, really looks like Jay Lee, and it says Jay Lee right down there. Okay. That's why it looks good. Good looking stuff. He got paid a lot for that. Astounding Tales. That's fun. It's an homage to Spider-Man. So we're seeing a little bit more of Silver Age influence as well here. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. That's a nice little homage. Looks like that young lady has like bionic enhancements or something. I thought that was a fun little cover. Interesting looking figure there. Automated multi-purpose intelligence guardian operative, or Amigo for short. Pretty cool. Psalm for the Changed. Really nice cover there. Perspective is a bit odd here on the cover though. You got these faces all yelling at each other, but it doesn't look like they're actually in the same place. Aveline the Protector. Kind of reminds me of the Paladin figure from Pathfinder, designed by Wayne Reynolds. Don't know if they're familiar with that at all. Axle Gun, interesting. Once again, the heavy Naruto anime influence is definitely one of the major influences that we're seeing represented over and over again. So, maybe there's something to that. Maybe the people that are moving their work, closer to that manga and anime style are going to set themselves up for, a more enduring career, as you have these generations that are raised under these umbrellas of constant anime exposure. I mean, once the 2000s hit, and we had the final part of our Diamond Age, or whatever it's being called, by the more comic book intellectuals. We'll have to ask Timothy Callahan what he calls it. We had the rise of streaming services, or just Netflix initially, where you could get all of these great anime movies or OVAs on DVD or eventually Blu-ray, and then now everything's moving to streaming, and you have Crunchyroll and Tubi and all these great things. Here's Metropolis again, Area 51. Barren Soils, a story worthy of Miller in his prime. I believe that's Mark Miller again. Fun looking stuff. There's bloodlines breaking down their various books in the series. Bohica Blues. One thing I think we can definitely take from the Japanese manga culture is that it's very pervasive, that everyone in Japan and a lot of readers in France read a lot more comics than we read here in America, where it's still considered a very niche thing, although the intellectual properties themselves have become much more popular and more widespread. But that's only because of the rise of the works in film with the MCU or the extended DC universe and so on and so forth. But in Japan they have manga stories about everything. It's not just girls, magical girls and giant robots, but they have like tennis comic books and high school comic books and golfing comic books and all these things. So even though this doesn't appeal to me, okay, a story about soldiers, it looks funny, it looks personal, so I'm all for personal expressions. If people are going to tell their individual story, then do it in a truthful way, and the audience that's looking for that is going to find it and respond to it. Nice looking black and white artwork there. Very moody, very intense. Good stuff. Ooh, nice coloring here. Godlike. That looks pretty fun. That reminds me a lot of an Orion type character, but very fun looking. More ghost agents. I think this is Trigger Girl 6 again, just from the hair there. Captain Ultimate. Not familiar with that, but it looks a whole lot like Invincible's dad. There's the Metropolis. That's a really nice cover painting. They definitely use some direct stills from the films though to get these, but that's what you do. I mean, even guys like Roger Castell, or those classic old one-sheet painters, they would work from photographs, and the same with the classic illustrators of the late 60s and 70s. Guys like Neil Adams or Howard Chaykin or even Bernie Wrightson or what have you. Has to be done in moderation. Like, it's okay that you can identify it on a cover like this. It's just you don't want to go through the whole book and go, oh, I've seen that particular angle in the movie. I know exactly what this is. That sort of thing. I hope my voice is not going out here. I'm not sure what that one was from. The Complete Darkness by Matt Adcock and Carl Brown. Looks interesting. Like an adrenaline shot into your mind. Or Ghost Agents. Or Project Helix. It's the girl with the mega fists. Like the design. I like the texture they laid out on the little bodysuit right there. There's Rise again. That's a really fun picture. I like that. I like that a lot. That was another one I almost backed. Trigger Girl 6. There's the censored, uncensored cover by Michael Joseph Lisner. Good looking stuff. Like the use of negative space there. That was always his. No knocks against the guy. Just that's how I knew him. Is his covers were always very erotic and evocative. The Fists of Danny Pike. Like this, I would probably be able to get into. A boxing comic book. Pretty cool. That is so hard to do a nice big sprawling crowd like that. Look at that. I wonder who the artist is on that. It's good looking stuff. Really good looking stuff. Next week, Knockout. What is that? Is that something? I might have accidentally put this in the wrong folder. I don't know, but here we go. Definitely get back to the independent stuff here. That's Ghost Agents Metropolis. Drawing Blood, the story behind the stories. I don't know what that is, but again, I just thought, hey, it looks interesting. Cover by Kevin Eastman, apparently. Or Metropolis. There's Rise. Fun stuff. See there, Golden Age, just like Superman with the eagle landing on his arm, or I'm sure Captain America has done that several times over. I like that the triangle, that the symbol is kind of separate from the actual character. Metropolis again. Epic. That's a very fun looking one. Tyler James, Matt Zalman, FICO. Epic. Those are nice covers. I like that. That has kind of a Bart Sears kind of vibe to it. I mean, very dynamic, powerful figures. That's good looking stuff. It's almost like a Hulk looking figure. He's got a football. What's the deal with that? That looks like a fun book. Evora Lay, A New Breed, or Evora Lee, by McFadden, Toluwasi, and Ikupolati. Ooh, those names are a mouthful. Apologies if I said it wrong. Not sure what they're going for there. Just, to me, comes across as cool, unique. Costume's cool looking. Definitely looks like maybe heavily influenced by the movies, like a whole lot of Wakanda Forever in there. But not saying, like I've been saying, do your thing as long as it's coming from within and it's part of this expression of yourself, and you're putting it into the superhero format. It will find its audience. There will be a truth and a power to it. The King's Domain. That's a really nice looking cover. Wow, I like that. That's nicely designed. You see the triangle shapes, putting them all together here. Nice coloring from front to back. I like this serpent figure coming around, entwined around this woman's neck here. That's really good looking stuff. Exodus Z, Maidens of Mayhem. There we go. This is straight cheesecake, 90s bad girl. Go to. There's always an audience for it. It's another definite trend that we're seeing here in this modern age. I like the fantasy look here. Really nice pen and ink work. Nice detail. Very highly detailed. Good looking stuff. Hayward Saints. That's a little bit hard to read. Federal Federal Offensive Responders U.S. Division. Havard Saints 8. Is that what it is? Havard Saints 8. Okay, I love this Elephant Man looking head here. This is a cool looking eclectic group of figures here. And you got this badass looking armored dude. Got another, Black Punisher looking guy here with a nuclear symbol on his chest. You've got a bow guy back here. So some of these characters in the back maybe not quite as spectacularly designed, but some of them are really cool looking. It makes you want to know more about them. I like this hybrid humanoid dark lizard monster here. The Elephant Man looking thing is pretty cool. I wonder what's with the butterflies flying around him. That's pretty neat. You've got the flying girl back here. This looks like a magic girl, but does she have a bionic hand or something? And who's this guy just standing there? Not certain. And we've got this dark archangel back here. But anyway, that's good looking stuff. Really like the look of that. Wow, what a figure right there too. That's really nicely done. Oh, this is the Havard Saints 8. This is good looking stuff. I like it. Very use of large, big panels, big figures, breaking across the spread. Oh, that's fun stuff. Very dynamic. Good action. Now that's not independent comics. What happened there? How did that get in there? That's probably supposed to be in my artist edition file. Some of the Kubert work. Here we go. Back to Trigger Girl 6. Ghost Agents. Fantastic Dimension. Now that's a fun looking image right there. I mean, wow, what a nice design. You got the eyeball and the mouth, and oh man, this dark figure in the metallic armor. Here you've got the heroic female here. She's holding her belly, tell you she's pregnant with child. She's heavy with child. She's got the magical blade here at her side. Wow, that is a fun piece. That is a fun piece right there. I think this is a video. This is actually an image that I just grabbed from a Promote Yourself thread. It was either on in a Facebook group or maybe on the X Twitter somewhere, where they say, hey, if you have a comic, just come post an image, promote yourself. And I went through and grabbed all these. I'm like, wow, this is a fun book. There's a direct Rob Liefeld ripoff. Art's pretty stiff looking. All apologies, but if you're going to copy an artist, I would not start with Rob Liefeld. Rob is his own thing. Now, is this looks like Kevin Maguire artwork. It's definitely an homage to his Justice League covers, but it doesn't say Kevin Maguire anywhere. But man, does it look like him. The Wrong Earth. We Can Be Heroes. This is interesting looking stuff. What is that? Annabelle. Not a great looking character design there. And I don't know what's going on here. She's got her pants unbuttoned. What's happening in this comic? Here's a wrestling comic. NP Armageddon. Lock your doors, bar your windows. Hart D. Fisher is still at large. Well, there's a comic book outlaw for you, Hart D. Fisher, friend of the channel. That's a guy that's definitely gone his own way for a long, long time. We salute you, Hart, for certain. But anyway, this video's probably gone on long enough. Stain, that's very nice. Wow, look at this. This is nice. Holy cow. Love these. I love, fantasy stories, and it's hard to find a really good fantasy comic book. The art is a crucial element to making an appealing fantasy comic book. Look at this. You've got serpent folk. You've got some sort of deep ones over here. You've got these tall Zulu warrior monsters back here in the background. Wow, what a great spread. What was that from? That might be, this might be the new Fire and Ice adaptation. I think that's what that is. Godzilla -1. This could be you. This could be your face here. for Area 51. There's ghost agents. Okay, so with that, I think we've gone on far enough. This video has been rocking for quite a while here, and yeah, that's long enough. So, what did you learn from this? I don't know. What did I learn? I have no idea. Let's bring it back to me. Hello. There we are. So, what did we identify from all of this? Well, that we are in an age where anything is possible. It's up to us to make our own unique expression. That we do see there are some trends that are becoming tried and true. We've got the manga trends, we've got the bad girl trends, but then we've got those that are just, hey, these are my stories, these are my heroes, and I'm putting it out there, and if you build it, they will come. That's what we're looking for. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this little walk through the world of modern independent comics. JT McRoberts, thanks for watching. We are one and all part of the Comic Book Dojo. We'll see you next time.